Hello, welcome to another episode of Now You See Me, the show where we redefine beauty from the inside out. My name is Jeannette Jones and I am your host. You know, when you're having symptoms of depression or you're having symptoms where your energy seems to be going down, a change of scenery, a change in habit or routine may be just the answer that you're looking for. I had the opportunity to work on both the outside and the inside, and I wanted to share that with you this week. The last time I had a makeover, I think was COVID, right before COVID. And then immediately after COVID, everybody was masked up and no one was allowed to touch anybody. There was a lot of confusion. Even with gloves, they would not do your makeup. At one point, I do remember going to get my a makeover, and they watched me do it because they wouldn't do it. So they just made suggestions and had me to dip out whatever the makeup was or whatever the concealer was. They had me to do it. But I'm glad I went into the store because we talked about all kinds of things. We talked about cleansing products that they had. We had about the different kinds of foundation, because I am, I believe, a shade darker, only because I've been walking so much and my pigment has changed some. So I'm a shade darker. But the whole atmosphere was just relaxed. We were talking about not only the makeup products, but we were talking about health, talking about taking 1 clove of garlic a day, talking about just different things and how many years we've been in Germany and so forth and so on. It was just a really, really good conversation. And I just love the fact also again that we have so many nationalities here. And the one that was holding the camera and holding my phone for me, she was from India. And the person that was directly doing my makeup was from Italy. So it was an awesome time, and she was really, really sweet. We decided, as you see, just a plain old natural makeup regimen. And so it was good. It was good conversation. I'm glad I just kind of stopped in, and I'm glad that they were standing there to let me know, hey, I'm ready if you want to do this. But yeah, I am glad. I'm glad I did. Now, of course, you know, before I left out, there was going to be a purchase. But it was necessary. Like I said, I've been exercising outside. I'm a shade darker, or slightly darker than I was before. And so I actually had to change out, or at least mix up the Lancome makeup that I had at home already. So I just really, really like that brand. I like the way it feels on my face. And I like good company, and I like sweet people working with me to make me look better, and also at the same time they made me feel better. I had the opportunity to go to a conference in Fillinginthegaptelevision, Germany. And we stayed at this beautiful, beautiful hotel. And it was massive. And we had about, I want to say maybe 200-300 women there. Germany, all over Europe actually, because there were some people that had come in from Italy, I believe, and there were some people that had come in from the United Kingdom, and there were some people, I want to say Spain, but I'm really not sure. I just know there was a lot of people, of course, all over Germany that had come in just to be in one place at the same time. It was actually quite beautiful. It was actually quite beautiful. Proverbs 31, verse 30. Charm is deceitful and beauty is passing, but a woman who fears the Lord, she shall be praised. It says charm is deceitful. Beauty is passing. What you see on the outside is not what that person is sometimes. We look at the people that are on social media or the models in the magazines, and we view them as the epitome of beauty. And some of them, most of them, are extremely beautiful. But that does not mean that they are beautiful on the inside, that they're happy on the inside, that they even love God, if they even know God, if they even want to know God. God says, a woman who fears the Lord shall be praised. Sometimes you see people and they're not most of the time they're not who we would deem to be magazine ready, but they have the most beautiful spirit. They have that beautiful spirit because they have fallen in love with God. They know who they are in God. They operate in their authority, and that love of God, the Spirit of God, rests upon them because He can trust them. And so we need to redefine beauty, as the tagline of my show says. We redefine beauty from the inside out. And we need to understand the most beautiful person in the world may also be the most unhappy. We really, really need to get deep and in touch with God, who says that we are fearfully and wonderfully made. He said, in your mother's womb, I formed you. So I think that if we let God reign in our lives, if we let Him reign in our lives, the beauty that's on the inside will reflect on the outside. You ever see people that walk into the room and they're glowing? They're glowing. And they have no idea that they're glowing. People look at them and say, you look like you're reversing in age. It looks like you're going backwards. That is the Spirit of the Lord on those people, resting on them. Because when He runs things, He makes you look good. He makes your outside look just like the inside that He's doing surgery on, that He's perfecting, that He is doing a work in. And the more we clean up on the inside, the more beautiful on the outside. We are aesthetically pleasing to God in the spirit. So we are aesthetically pleasing on the outside. Truthfully, when you walk into the room, something ought to come in with you. And I do mean the Spirit of God, not something that's of the enemy or something that's demonic or something that makes people say, ooh, I'm going to stay away from her. People have discernment even when they don't even know what it is. It's not about feeling sometimes. There's something that exudes off of you as you walk in, as you approach people, as people approach you. That thing exudes off of you. And so we need to understand, like the word says, charm is deceitful. You can be the biggest talker in the world. You can draw all manner of attention. But if you're not speaking truth when you're talking, you're deceitful. It says beauty is passing. You're not going to keep your looks forever. Don't rely on those. Be the woman who fears the Lord. Now, anytime I'm going anywhere that I've never been before, I'm going to try to find something to get into, or try to find some kind of sightseeing monument, or what's the local attraction. And it just so happened we had a nice little site right around the corner from the hotel.
I don't necessarily like heights, but I always seem to put myself in these situations. Probably because I know the best view is going to be at the top.
But then I turned around and I looked at the crowd. It was huge. It was long. I guess because it was getting late in the afternoon and just so many people were already up there and clearly having a really good time. Okay, let me get down. I was like, where are all these people coming from? What is going on? The crowd is so thick, especially the crowd to get back on the cable cars going back down was very, very long. So I said, let me hurry up and get back in because I wanted to make sure I got back to the hotel on time for the session. But I stayed up there for a little while and I got to the point, oh, okay, it's time to go. So I just went and started climbing down those stairs again. I wanted to see the lake. I wanted to see all of the stuff right and be right there next to it. I'm not really used to a lot of bottles and beer cans and things like that being around, because Germans overall are very neat and clean people. It's a very clean country compared to some. It's quite a clean country. But people were up there, they were having a good time. Evidently they were celebrating something in particular up there. Then on top of that, someone said later that okay, they had just legalized weed. And so when I got ready for my cable car, I thought I was going to get in my cable car all by myself. But no.
Well, I'm back in the car and I am safely off of that mountain. But the funny thing happened on the way down. I was in the same, what do you call it, a car? Yeah, I was in the same car. Two Germans sat in the car with me, and then they were talking. Hey, how you doing? It's just dread. I'm like, I don't have time for sloppy drunk people. But they were controlled drunk. Matter of fact, we had a very good conversation. And they were asking me where I was from in very broken English. And I was responding as best I could to make sure they understood me. And one in particular was talking about when he was in Orlando. And he was trying to get used to the customs there. But one thing that struck me that he said, he was talking about, overall Americans seem really, really friendly. But he was saying that sometimes we seem too friendly, like it's disingenuous. And he's like, 1 minute, hey, how you doing? And so on. And we just act like we're really, really glad to see him. And then after that, it's like we switch or we code switch. And I think that maybe that's a national thing, a societal thing, where we code switch. And I tried to convince them that overall we're some decent people. But we're being run by media. We're being run by society instead of being run by just having ethics and being run by just what's in your heart, the goodness that's in your heart, the caring about other people. I think our first thought is to care about other people and to be friendly and to be kind. But lately, even foreigners notice the fakeness. Even foreigners notice the code switching. And basically he said, for a German, that's a little strange. And for a German, it is very strange. They're very direct. They're very straight to the point. And so he was like, it's a little bit hard to get used to. But it goes along with what I'm talking about now. We learn to be fake. We learn to switch out where it's necessary. Now, I'm not saying that we're just supposed to just let it all hang out and don't be civil. That's not what I'm saying. And I'm not saying that we're not supposed to be kind to other people and show kindness and show Christ-likeness and be meek. And sometimes that long suffering means that you're going to have to shut up. But even in that, if you can't muster out some kindness, if you can't push it out at that particular moment, it's just always just best to not talk at all. What's on the inside comes out. And people notice when you code switch. If I'm using the correct term, I may be using the wrong term for it. But people notice when you're disingenuous. How about that? We'll use that. People notice when you're not.
Well, I had a wonderful ride home, and I learned quite a bit. Or better yet, I was reminded of the things that we already know. That when you are in the midst of positive people, people that are like-minded, people that are looking out for your best interests, people that are hungry for the things of God like you are hungry for the things of God, or people that are just plain good people, you are always going to have a good time. You're always going to be enlightened. Iron is going to sharpen the iron. The people that are around you, you're going to match their energy. We always say, pay attention to who is around you. Pay attention to it. Pay attention to who is uplifting you, who is telling you the truth. Pay attention to those who are talking possibly behind your back and has a way of making you feel less than when they are in your presence. Sometimes, like with the makeover, you just probably need to go stop into the department store and just have some fun. Now, mind you, you are going to have to probably buy something, some lipstick or something. But, you know, that's okay. You probably needed it anyway. But the thing is, the conversation, the relaxation, the something new is going to help you just last just a little bit longer on that road. And brighten up your day for a while. Brighten up your countenance for a while. My name is Jeannette Jones. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Now You See Me, the show where we redefine beauty from the inside out. You have an awesome day. You're looking for a life coach, go to www.JeannetteMJones.com and sign up for a free 15-minute complimentary session. I assure you, you will not be disappointed. You know, when I first started my television show, I was terrified. One, because it was uncharted territory. And another reason was because of the name itself, Now You See Me. It gave the air of transparency. And I wasn't sure if I was ready for everybody to see me. But I said yes. And it's been a journey that I will never forget nor regret. It was maturing. It caused me to open up. It caused me to not be afraid of my feelings. It was fun to create. Even if some of the topics, I will be honest, I didn't really want to talk about, but I felt in my heart of hearts that that's what I was supposed to be talking about that week. But as you go through one thing and you're at one level, then God puts you in a position where you go to the next level. I have a channel, Filling in the Gap, and the name itself speaks volumes. It means that we're going to be filling in the spaces and giving people information that's going to move them from point A to point B. I know in my life, it seems like I was right there on the edge of something always, and then somebody came by to give me what I needed to push me on to the next level. And that's what I want for this channel. So if you are a person that feels like God has called you and you have a vision, you have something to share with the people. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be cooking, it could be exercise, it could be whatever. But you're really, really feeling like what you have is what somebody else needs. Then you may be the person that's perfect for this channel. Click on the link, fill in your information, and you will get a link to the session via email. Okay. So I am looking forward to talking to you. I am looking forward to talking to you, and I'm excited for you. I'm very excited for you because I know on the other end, there's just people recognizing your brilliance. Go ahead, sign up.